Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Let's start the class. Till now, only 19 members are there. I don't know why, especially it. Okay, in the last class, we are seeing human development, dimensions of human development. Among them, we have seen the physical development, intellectual development, and then emotional development, moral development, spiritual development. And the last, we have to see what is social development. Okay, all those five developments we already covered, and this is the sixth development, which is social development. See, social development, as we all know, a man is a social being. He is not at all living in the island or something. We are living in our society, so we have to live with other people together. Then only we will be saying as a social being. So we are popularly the man or woman are called as a social beings. Why? Because we have to involve with others. We have to get through all the tasks. We have to do everyday tasks because we are not at all independent. We have
Good
to depend
afternoon,
on.
sir.
I Okay, we have to just be with others every time. So clearly, it shows that man is nothing but a social being. So the social development is nothing but a maturity which a person develops when he is living with others. How well they will be correlated with each other, how well they will coordinate with each other, how we accept our societal rules, how we how we just respect the elders and everything. It will be dependent on the social development entirely. Our social upbringing will entirely depends on our culture, whatever the religion we follow, whatever the laws we accept, what is our conscience, and everything will comes under this social development. So if you see, the spiritual development is nothing but helping and taking a concern of others. Whereas social development, if you, when you just incorporate the spirituality, when you just incorporate the helping nature, when you are more about concerned about others, then what you will say, social development is nothing but spiritual development. There is no major distinction between social development and this spiritual development. When you are when you have a genuine concern for other, when you think more about others rather than being a selfish, when you think more about others, so your genuine concern is thinking more about others, then there is no major distinction between spiritual and social development. The spiritual development, we can call the social development as a spiritual development. So, in order to mingle with others, first we should have the opportunity for involvement. Okay, whether the particular society, immediate society which we are living, is accepting us or not. First, we have to accept the society, and society has to accept us. So we need an opportunity to for being involved in with others. Then positive recognition and feedback. So whatever the positive recognition, meaning when somebody is just recommending you for something, okay, that is nothing but a positive feedback. They are giving a positivity, positive attitude of yours, and they are referring you. So that is nothing but your feedback. So entirely the bonding will be dependent on these three elements. First, there should be some opportunity in between the person to person to interact and to be involved. And the next one is a positive recognition and feedback. Somebody says that okay, this person is a positive being, he will always see the positivity in other person, he is a good person, meaning the opposite person will particularly gain one consciousness. Okay, he will have some understanding about that person. Okay, we should do friendship with him or not. Okay, based on this recognition and feedback only, he will just immediately accept this person or not. Then the skills for involvement. So what are these skills required for the involvement? Okay, basically the concern. Okay, we should have a genuine concern for others. Okay, we should involve with them, we should move with them. Okay, we should not use materialistic, we should not look at the materialistic, only materialistic things. When you are doing a friendship with somebody else, you have to see the other developments, what type of behavior I am going to um, uh, accept from him. Okay, what is I am going to gain from him, not about the materialistic, the true feeling, what type of happiness you are going to realize when you are doing a friendship with the other person. Everything will be involved, And when you accept all these three aspects, then only a clear bonding will be there. Then that is known as a true friendship, or whatever the relationship we are developing. After meeting all these requirements only, we will develop a bonding. So oneness will be there. Then after this bonding, the beliefs and norms, we will try to discuss what are our beliefs, what are our norms, what are our goals, and everything we will try to discuss. Okay, when these all the things are matching with each other, they will be developed as the friendship will be further growing, and they will call that's a true friendship. Like this, then the common behavior will be adopted. When they are considering each other beliefs and norms are same, then there will be a common behavior associated with that particular entity, particular one or more than one person. Okay, the social development is not at all concerned only the island. Okay, since we are not living individually, so social development is how well we are correlated with each other, how well we are accepting each other, how well we are just accepting the norms, societal norms, how well we are respecting the societal norms. Everything will comes under this social development. Caste, religion, everything will comes under this social development. But emotionally, this socially developed person will accept all the errors in the caste system, religion, and everything. He will just try to accept that one. Yes, there is a problem in that one, but there is a positivity in the other religion, in the other caste, and everything. He will try to accept. When he is emotionally mature, he will show a true and genuine concern towards others, not just relating to his caste, his own caste, or his own religion. When you are truly socially developed person, then you will look after the concerns of others also, other religion, other caste, okay, other creed, okay, everybody. You have to take that into the confidence. Then only you can be called as a social being. Okay, otherwise man is the person, the human beings are called as a social being. When you are not accepting the other beings, other fellow beings, then you will be called as a fool, you will call as an animal. Okay, there is no distinction between animal and a fool or a wise person. Okay, whenever you are considered as a socially developed or a wise person, okay, you will try to accept all the concerns, all the religions, all the caste, and everything. You have to accept all the rules of the immediate society. Okay, some society will be putting some rules, some laws will be there, everything will be covered by some rules and laws. We have to respect everything. Okay, so that's called a social development. If you are socially enlightened, socially developed, then everything you will accept. Then these are all the six type of dimensions which we have seen in this one, dimensions of human development. Just one second. Yeah. Okay, these are all the six type of development which we have seen in the previous class and this class. So first one is the physical development. What does that mean? This is a summary of all the six types of developments. So physical development, what does this development means? Complexion, this means what type of color and what type of uh, your color and everything will depends on the comes under the complexion. And then height, weight, and everything, it will comes under only physical category. Then size, your weight, growth, everything, growth of your sexual characteristics, as we discussed earlier. So every reproductive system, everything will be developed in a, that will be called as a physical dimension. Then what about the emotional development? Okay, emotional development is nothing but your true reaction to some particular situation. Okay, when you are going through an emotional situation, particularly, how you will react, how fast you will reacting, how you will react, whether you are taking negatively or whether you are taking it positively, entirely depends on your emotional development. Then this is the emotional development, that is a temperament. We'll call this person is a temper and everything. So your temperament, your true temperament will be always dependent on your emotional development, how well you grow emotionally. That defines you, that you are sensitive or insensitive. Your behavior entirely depends on your emotions. That's a emotional development dimension in the human development. Then the intellectual development, what is our intelligence? Okay, it is nothing but a intangible. Okay, we cannot see, we can just we cannot touch that one, we can just see, okay, how intellectually that person is. Okay, it is also a situational phenomena, how well you are coping up with the particular situation. Okay, using your intelligence or ability to comprehend. Then improving your general knowledge. What is your general knowledge? Somebody is asking about some topic, how well you are just correlating, how well you are just having a knowledge, and everything depends on your intellectual growth. Now you are intellectually growing because you are truly in a learning stage. Okay, obviously the faculty is also in a learning stage. Okay, everybody has to adopt a skill called a lifelong learning skills. Okay, every human being has to learn for their life. Whole life is the learning process. Okay, nobody is above uh, even the faculty has to learn throughout his life. So everybody will have to improve their intellectuals. Okay, irrespective of their age. Then gathering facts, sensory stimuli. Okay, whatever the facts, okay, what is good, what is bad, you have to correlate what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, what is counter value, what are your accepted values, everything. What it will governs your sensory stimuli only governs that. That only just defines you. Okay, you are intellectually matured or not. Okay, then analyzing and reasoning. Okay, you'll find a reason. Whatever the behavior is there, whatever the situation you are going through, everything you will try to find a reason. Yes, this is happening. Why this is happening? Okay, that determines your intellectual. Okay, that's determines your intellectual behavior, ability. Okay, ability to correlate with something already which has come up. Okay, everything you have to just correlate. And if something is not written rule or law, then you have to correlate that, analyze that whether it is correct or not. So that's called a true intellectual power. Then the spiritual development. In this dimension, you are truly concerned about others rather than oneself, rather than being being for yourself, selfish. Then you will be more concerned about your spiritual being, about your fellow beings. Then having a goal in life. Okay, what type of goal you possess? Okay, what are you doing to attain that goal? Everything defines you whether you are spiritually enlightened or not. Okay, in the spiritual dimension, when you see, everything will have some purpose. Every being, every human being, or every instrument, every material, whether it's a tangible, whether it's a non-tangible, everything will will have some purpose. They come on this earth to serve their purpose. Okay, spiritually, spiritual attitude or a spiritual dimension looks in that phenomena. Okay, everything will have some purpose. Okay, like human beings are more concerned in setting the short term and long term goals, and we have to frame a path in order to reach our long term and short term goals and immediate goals. And everything we have to just be goal oriented. Then this is called a spiritual enlightenment, making every effort to attain that particular goal. Then using your willpower. Okay, you should have a willpower. You should have an attitude that yes, I can do that. Okay, when you set a goal, irrespective of what the time it will take. Okay, when you consider that particular goal is a genuine, particularly you have to achieve that goal. You have to use your willpower. Yes, I can do. Why can't I do? What are the required things I have to do to reach that particular goal? You will just try to analyze that one. You just find out the reasons. Okay, why should I reach there? When you are spiritually enlightened, all these things will comes into you, will govern you towards your goal. Okay, you should be spiritually enlightened. Then committing to collaborate or serve others. So ultimate purpose of this spiritual enlightenment is you have to commit yourself. Yes, I have to work for others benefit also. I have to look towards the immediate society first. Then I can go to the universe. I have to serve uh, many people in and around us. I have to serve my fellow being. Everything you will show the concern for others. So that's a ultimate spiritual enlightenment. Then what about the moral enlightenment? Okay, moral concern. We are seeing what is a moral. So learning to be a conscientious. Okay, so you have to when you are morally enlightened, you can just differentiate good from bad, and bad, what is the good from the bad, and what is bad and what is good. You can just swift out. Okay, swifting is the major phenomena you will do, you will apply in your day to day life. Yes, something is going on, something is going to happen. Okay, something is going something you are observing when you are coming from the road, coming by road, or whatever the way you are coming to the college. You are observing many things. Okay, out of that, how you will shift good from evil? Okay, you have your consciousness, your not about the pseudo consciousness. It's a pseudo consciousness is a completely a different attitude. Okay, when you just conscious. Okay, when you just uh, conscientious, then you can just relate a good, just relate whatever the good is there, whatever the bad is there, just you have to separate this good from the bad and everything. Okay, you will properly sift out that good from evil, then decide to stand by the good. Whatever the good is going on, when you recognize that this particular task is a good task, then you will stand for that one. Okay, taking a bribery, taking corrupted, you are seeing many corruption in around us. So what type of corruption is going on, you know popularly that one. When you are standing around that one, yes, okay, in your age, in your I think you will be above 18 or above 19 something when you just pass out inter or inter, senior inter, and you are coming here, meaning you will be around 18 or 19 years age. You are still in a teenage. Now the boys and everything, and just referring as an example, you just wanted to be driving your own bike. Okay, you want a license. How you will obtain? Many people will obtain a license by doing the drive only. So you know that giving a bribe is a crime, as well as it is not a good thing to give the bribe. But though we know all these things, we will decide that okay, we will go to bribe and everything. When a particular person, just morally enlightened person, just observe that this is not a good thing, then he will stand out for that. Yes, this is not a good thing. Whatever the examination is there to obtain that particular driving license, I will do that things. I will not pay any bribe. Okay, he will stand for whatever the good is there, he will stand for that one. So morally enlightened person will do these things. Then acting for the good, everything will comes under this moral attitude. How well you are morally conscientious, everything will depends on your moral attitude, your morals. When you are morally down, then you will do everything like a corruption, like giving a bribe or taking a bribe, everything you will just perform. You are not at all morally enlightened. Then the social development, just now we just said what is the social development. Social development is nothing but our how well we are correlating with each other, how well we are accepting the rules of society, our immediate society, accepting the laws and everything. It will comes under this social development. And relating to our surroundings, to our environment, how we are behaving, how we are behaving with our parents, and everything will comes under this social development. Your birthplace, your growth, everything will comes under caste, religion, culture, reading, materials, schools, your teachers, friends, and climate, everything. You will find out the source of your social enlightenment. Okay, whether it may be your inspiring teacher. Okay, from their moral behavior, from their attitude, everything you learn. Okay, how well I can correlate, how well I can relate with other, and everything you have to observe. In this age, every person will observe each other. Okay, that person is doing that thing. Okay, everything you will find many things good and bad in our society. But whatever, when you are emotionally, when you are socially in an advanced stage, in your socially developed stage, then you will accept a good only from the society. Okay, we have 100% we have bad, 100% we have good also. So how well you are just accepting that good, accepting that bad, everything will determines your social behavior. When you are a evil person, when you are not at all a non-sociable person, then what will you will just accept a negativity from the society. So you should not accept that negativity. In the caste, there are many advantages in the caste. Religion, in every religion, there are many advantages. You have to observe that one. In every culture, there are many advantages. In the reading, every books are there. Okay, good books are there. Bad books, we can't say that they are bad books, but there are many books. Okay, which will guide us towards the negativity. You should avoid reading those books and material, many material in and around in our web and everything. It's 100% source, our internet. Okay, there are many bad things also there in the internet. You should not be addicted to the bad things. Okay, you should your social consciousness, conscience, conscience, your what we call this one, your conscience, social conscience, everything should guide towards the good material which is available over the web. You should not go to the negative effects of the usage of this web or internet. Then the school is the obvious source of a good source for the good habits and everything. Okay, teachers, you can take a role model from the teachers, or otherwise you can take some role model for the cricketers. When you like some cricketer, you will just adopt his behavior. Okay, is not stupid behavior. Whatever you are liking in him, you just have to adopt that one. To your friends, if your friend inspires you, you can adopt a good behavior from him. Okay, climate, we should inspire. We should inspire by our earth and everything, climate. Then relating to the economic and political life of the society, rights and duties. Okay, whatever you are just relating, how well you are relating with other life, economic, whether it may be political, whether it may be rights, your fundamental rights or your fundamental duties in everything, how you are performing entirely depends on your social well-being or social development. So these are all the summary of these six type of social dimensions for the human development. Okay, first you have to just go through all these things. This completes your unit one. Okay, most probably day after tomorrow. By day after tomorrow, I will try to just scan your textbook up to at least up to unit three. Okay, and just I will upload in the MS Teams as well as I will send it through WhatsApp. Okay, I think you are not allowed to come into the college so that you can take books from the library. So there is no such a material question to answer material. I just asked your seniors. Okay, whoever are there, they are answering. Just we have to go through the two books which are available. What is in harmony for the first three units, and the next book for next two units. We have to go through the two textbooks. Okay, I will try to scan this textbook up to three unit and just try to put you in your MS Teams as well as through WhatsApp. Okay, just I will try to revise this first unit entirely. If you have any doubts, you can just ask me. Otherwise, I will just revise this unit. CR number 19 and 48. ACR and CR. Yeah, you have any doubts?
No, sir. If I read it
Yeah.
once again, I'll get it.
Yes, yes.
If I read it once, I'll get it, sir. Everything.
Sorry, I can't hear you properly. Voice is breaking.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Now it's okay. Yeah.
Sir, if I read it once, I'll get it, sir, again. Properly.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. I will share this PPT as well as I will try to scan this book. Okay, you are not allowed to come into the college because your first years you have to take some slip or something to obtain books from the library. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, just circulate this message in your to your colleagues also, to your friends also. Then I will try to just revise this one. So unit one is entirely concerned about your ethics, okay, your consciousness, your ethics, okay, your moral values, okay, how well you are correlating everything is comes under this unit one, which is introduction to ethics. Then what is ethics? This is nothing but your moral attitude, okay, how well you are just accepting whatever are coming to your way. So the contents which contained in this unit one is why the value education? Why we have to study value education? What is value education? Before we are going to the why value education, we have to see what is value education. Then the first topic is what is value education and why value education. Then reasons to have ethics for life. The next topic is reasons to have ethics for life. Why should we have an ethics? Okay, why can't we go without ethics? Okay, we have to just differentiate what is ethics, what is non-ethical terms. Then accepted norms and the counter values. What are the accepted norms? Already we have many norms in our society. What are among those, what are the accepted, what is our non-acceptable things will comes under this counter values. Then the dimensions of human development. There are these six dimensions of the human development. If you are if you want to develop all these dimensions, you should be highlighted, you should be enlightened with all these six types of development. The first one among physical development, next one intellectual, emotional, moral, spiritual, and social. So these are the contents that are contained in your unit one. Then first topic is why, what is value education and why do we require to study this value education? So value education means a set of value system. Okay, you will have a value system first. Okay, this value system is entirely composed of your beliefs, attitudes, your custom, how you are behaving, everything will comes under this value system. Okay, every individual need not to have a same value system. Each and every human being is different. Okay, each person will have a different attitude, each person will have a different faith, different beliefs they have. So our value system is entirely different. Okay, each and individual will have some value system. Then this value system, a set of these value systems are nothing but our value education. How to set our beliefs, how to go towards the positivity, how we neglect the negativity. That is entirely composed of this value education. So a set of value systems is known as this value education. Then we should adopt a behavior that what is a value clarification. Okay, when you are truly educated towards these values, okay, you should have a value clarification first. When some value is coming towards you, when somebody is saying something to you, something to you, then what we have to do immediately, you should clarify. Okay, this is the rule. Why should I accept this one? What is the positivity in this accepting by this rule? What is the negativity in accepting these rules? You have to study that one. That is known as the value clarification. The process of value education, where we learn to question. First, you have to question why. Why should I accept this one? What is the advantage? Swift. Okay, we just differentiate that. Okay, swifting. Then understand and finally decide for ourselves our values, beliefs, and attitudes, and then our customs. Okay, we will just incorporate that particular value into our value system. Okay, we will have a set of our value system. First, we will have a set of our value system. When you are accepting a new value system, a new value from outside, first you have to question that one. First, you have to identify the difference from your value system, whether that particular value system is present in you or not, whether that particular value system coming to your way is correct or not. Then understand, yes, okay, this value that coming in my way is correct or not. Then finally, you should decide that you should allow that value into your system or not. Then how this is possible? Because of this value clarification only that is possible. Whenever we clarify our values, we may acquire a new set of values. Okay, our value system is not at all static; it is dynamic in nature. Okay, whenever we are going through some emotional situation, whenever we are going to our some emotional intellectual stimuli, we will just change our value sets. Okay, our values will be changed instantaneously, but our values according to our education, our conscience, okay, we should not change our values towards the negativity. Okay, always we should go towards the positivity. So whenever we clarify our values, we may acquire a new set of values and conviction and commitment to our values. Then we should commit to them and we should respect to that values. As a result, we will have a fulfilled and meaningful life. So value system in terms to obtain a fully satisfied and meaningful life. So we have to adopt this value system in our curriculum. Then value education does not mean a imposition or indoctrination. Okay, indoctrination, you can see the process of what we call just saying somebody to accept that norm, but just accept that particular norm, whatever I am believing. For example, I am believing some value, then just I will just impose that one. Okay, impose that to the students that no, you have to accept this one. You have to accept without any critical thinking. You have to accept this one. That is called indoctrination. So value education does not mean that you should just accept whatever the value which is coming to your way. Okay, nobody will teach us you to adopt the particular value as such. Okay, you have to think, you have to apply your own conscience. Then only you can identify that particular value is correct or not. In this way, value education does not support a imposition or indoctrination into its norm. Then nor it is a futile exercise that does not lead to a through thoughtful action. Okay, value education should lead you towards the intellectual acceptable behavior, not a wasteful. Futile means it's a waste or a pointless. Okay, it is not a pointless attitude to adopt a value system. Okay, then in contrary, value education helps to preserve all the good and worthwhile aspects of our culture. Okay, we have many, we have culture, we have our own Indian culture. There are many positive aspects towards that one. In order to save that one, we need to have a value education. If you have a value education, then only you can just filter out what is good, what is bad. You can just differentiate what is good and what is bad. Then only you can just accept good and worthwhile aspects of our culture and encourages us to question, explore, and understand our values, attitudes, and beliefs. Okay, whatever the value which is coming in your way, just don't accept as such. Okay, just first question that one. Okay, why you are saying this one? Okay, whether it is good or not, just explore that one. Explore, exploit that one first to see whether it is good or not. Then understand, yes, they are saying this is value correct. Why they are saying? What is the benefit that I am going to acquire? What is the positive trait I am going to acquire from that one? Then your attitude should be in such a way that you should adopt that value if that is a good to into your system. Then value education broadens our outlook to understand people's adhering to the value system different from yours. Okay, in this one, first you have to accept the fact that different people will have a different value system. When different people will have a different value system, obviously we will just try to confront them. We will just try to impose our belief on others. Okay, we should not do that one. You should broaden yourself. You should just ask them to look for other values. First you have to accept, in order to look to others value systems, first you have to accept your own value system. You have to accept your own belief. Then only you can know. If you are truly enlightened, then only you can know every person is different, every value system is different. Okay, you should adopt, you should have that particular behavior. Then the ethics is nothing but it's a moral philosophy or a code of moral practice by a person or a group of people. Whatever the code which you are just practicing in your society. Okay, if you are living in the in particular society. Okay, whatever the code of conduct. Okay, how should you behave? Somebody is saying, your parents are saying something. There's a code of conduct they are referring to. According to their ethics only, they are guiding you. You should not do this thing. You should do this thing. Okay, that things is comes under this ethics, nothing but a moral philosophy. Then there are three types of ethics. One is the meta ethics. Next one is the normative ethics, applied ethics. Okay, in the meta ethical stage, this we will just investigate the ethical principles. Okay, what are the principles, what they mean to you. Okay, how are they social inventions, how can we just correlated our emotions, how that particular ethics is just we are expressing ourselves, how can we express ourselves. Everything will comes under this meta ethical stage. Then normative ethics. Normative ethics is more concerned about this practical task. Okay, so whereas this meta ethics is more concerned about the spiritual. Okay, every reason behind that particular value, they just try to say, okay, this is spiritually enlightened. Through the spiritual reasoning only, they will try to understand this meta ethical stage. Whereas normative ethics is to practice. Through practice only, they come to know this is normative. Okay, this is normal. This behavior is good. This behavior is bad. Okay, it will show us a direction, right or wrong. Then applied ethics, it's a clearly is practical situation, because it will try to analyze the controversial issues such as abortions, infanticide, animal rights, and environmental concerns, homosexuality, capital punishment, or nuclear war. Everything it will try to in the applied ethical stage. It's more practical, more practical than this normative ethics. Okay, because in these ethical stages only we will try to address the controversial issues. Okay, without this applied ethics we can't solve these controversial issues. Then why it is important? Okay, reasons to have a ethics for life. Okay, why it is important to have a ethics for life? Okay, we will have many values in our society. Okay, in order to differentiate what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, what is a counter value, what is the acceptable value, everything we should have our consciousness in such a way that we should have some ethics. Okay, we cannot be unethical. Okay, we have to be ethical in nature. Then accepted norms are the common code for everyone in this world. Then conscience with respect to accepted norms must be heard. Okay, you should have your own conscience. That doesn't mean you should have a pseudo conscience. For example, if you see what is conscience, okay, it is nothing but your inner feeling, your inner judgment. Okay, whenever you are passing through some emotional situation, through some situation, what you will say? Okay, you will pass a judgment. Okay, this is correct or this is not. But pseudo consciousness, what it will say? Okay, when some criminal is there, he will justify his act. Whatever the crime he has committed, he will try to justify that act. That is known as a pseudo conscience. Okay, he is intellectual person in order to just to support his crime. Okay, but that is entirely comes under the pseudo conscience. Okay, you should heard only conscience, not the pseudo conscience. Okay, you should not support the pseudo conscience, only you should support the conscience. Because of this supporting this conscience, you should have ethics first. Then attitudinal change takes place within the heart of a person. It cannot be achieved by coercion. Here, ethical reflection alone can contribute to this attitudinal change. So why attitude changes? Why it should change? Because we are going through many situations. We are growing every day, every second, every minute. We are just growing. In our growing stages, everybody will have a different values, different value systems, different beliefs, different attitude we have. Depending on that, whatever we are seeing, we will change our attitude. It's a common phenomenon. So our attitude should be in such a way that it should be ethically acceptable. Okay, when you are changing your attitude, it should not be in a negative way. Okay, we are saying it's a normal attitudinal change is normal, but we are not saying that negative attitude is a normal. Okay, always you should consider a positive attitude in that one. So to guide us towards the positivity, to guide us our attitude towards the positive attitude, so ethics is the required norm. Then ethical reflection are brought in by people. Prominence is given to human person and not to anything else. Okay, as I said, you conscience plays a major role, not a pseudo conscience. So prominence should be adopted for the conscience only, not the pseudo conscience. When you are ethically reflecting, when you are ethically saying that particular task is correct or wrong, okay, you should be justifiable using the conscience only, not justifiable using your pseudo conscience. Then what about the ethics for human? Okay, whatever the ethics for beings, okay, like superhumans, we have a good god things or spiritual thing we have. For the spiritual thing, we are saying it's 100% a positive, 100% good only. So there is no point of saying ethics will have for the superhumans. Okay, there is no ethics for the superhuman because it is entirely composed of these good things. Then humans, we are the humans, we will have some ethics. Then subhumans. Subhumans means animals, birds, and everything will comes under the subhumans. Okay, subhumans, they cannot think. Okay, they will live for the present. For the present situation, they will live. They cannot well correlate with this past, and they could not observe their future. So because of that, they are called as subhuman. So ethics is not a cup of plate for this subhumans also. And inhuman. Inhuman means evil. Evil things, we will say when there is a God, there is evil also. Evil is entirely composed of 100% bad things, and this superhuman or a God is entirely composed of 100% good things. So when there is no ethics for the superhuman means there is no ethics for the inhuman. So ethics is for only human beings to face human problems and to find human solutions and grow into a full person. In order to grow into a full person, we need to have some ethics in our life. So ethics is only for the human beings, not for any inhuman or a subhuman or the superhumans. Then ethics a way to happiness. So we are the social beings. Human beings are nothing but the social beings. We have to live with a society. We have to live with many people. Okay, with our society, many peoples are there, many cultures, many castes, many religion. Everything will be there. Okay, we have to live with freedom. In order to live with freedom, we should live with others also. Okay, not only with the freedom, we should live with others also. When we are living with others, there should be some friction, some quarreling. We will not accept other norms, we will not accept other values. So why this ethics is required? Okay, we are having a different society. Okay, it's a cosmopolitan society. Okay, different types of people, different cultural people will be there. So in order to live with them peacefully, in order to live with them happily, we should have ethics for our life. Okay, it should be this ethics will guide us. Okay, it will guide us to accept various norms, to accept other people behavior, to accept other values also. Then any human problem can be solved by analyzing the case through various tools. Okay, the tools, various tools are historical, social, emotional, physiological, psychological, spiritual, etc. All these tools needs to be adopted. That is a clear composition of this ethics. Through this ethics only you will just reach a clear solution. Okay, and a solution may be find out using these tools only. The solution invariably will bring happiness to the entire humanity by means of accepted norms. For such solution, there is the need for ethical reflection. So, ethical reflection. How you will reflect? What is this ethical reflection? How you will reflect when you are coming across some incident, some situation? How you will reflect? what are the ethics that guides you is known as a ethical reflection. So through this ethics only we will solve many of the human problems. So we will find a human solutions for this all these human problems. Then ethics as a education for life. Okay, why should we adopt the ethics? Okay, ethics to solve many human problems we should adopt in our life. Like if you see the funnel effect, in the funnel effect from the top questions, the open questions we lost in the judgment, in the passing judgments, or just interrogating and everything, they will ask many questions in the open questions. Then they will probe clearly. Okay, what type of in the probing questions, there are many questions like a up to the point question we ask. When you move towards the end of this phone, the sharp questions which are called as a closed questions to the particular passing judgment, to pass a particular judgment we will ask, that is called as a funnel effect. So education, this ethics as a part of education, when we adopt this one, we will solve the human problems very easily. So education and critical thinking helps us to evaluate various dimensions of the problem, like economic, health, political, religious, how that particular problem has come. How we will know that one? Through evaluating the problem using economics, health, political, religious, all these dimensions we have to take consideration. So ethics is the education for true and genuine human life. Then the ethics, a basic need for man and woman. So why do we want? We have a two genders, or a third gender also we can say. But popularly these two genders are we are living with each other. That ethical reflection, how it will just solve these problems, deviating problems. So ethical reflection based on human-centered approach in looking at problems and possible solution for them is a basic need for humans. So when we have a ethics, we can uh, just cannot be a partial at one gender only. So we will apply our ethics in order to accept various limitations of different genders. So ethics needs for a basic need. It's a basic need for the man and woman. Then ethics, a way for harmonious human society. Okay, there are two spheres for life. One is a materialistic and spiritual. In the olden days, or early days, in a good olden days, what they will say, the common man is more concerned with the materialistic thing, whereas the priest or sannyasis are more concerned about the spiritual things. But today's mature person will just adopt the both materialistic and human component. He will take into the confidence that yes, moral materialistic is also important and spiritual enlightenment is also important. But human being, see, human being ethics, how this will be this ethics, how it is governed for the recognition and realization. Everybody wants a realization and recognition whatever they are doing. But in order to get this recognition and realization, there are popular threats which we are adopting nowadays, like in corruption, nepotism. In order to gain a short ways or a short-term goals and everything, we are just adopting these threats like a corruption, nepotism, favoritism, exploitation, exploiting fellow human beings, consumption, and everything we are just applying in order to gain this recognition and realization. But our ethics will guide us that we should not move towards these threats. We can adopt other values which can also surely lead us towards the recognition and realization, but it will take some time. So what are these values? Like justice. In every task what we perform, it should be justifiable. Then cooperation with each other. So it is also a wonderful value. When we cooperate with each other, obviously we will be recognized as a good person, and it will also bring you a recognition, a popularity in the society. Then unity. Unity is the best thing. Okay, when we have a unity, we will be referred to as a strong beings. So it is also a good value. We should consider this one. Then solidarity. Okay, when you are solid at your own point, okay, there should be some solidarity uh, uh, in your adaptability. So this is also a values. All these four values is needed in our society so that we can gain some recognition and realization. But instead of these values, we are adopting corruption, nepotism, favoritism, exploitation, consumption. All these are nothing but a threats to our society, threats to the human beings. Then what are the accepted norms? So accepted norms and counter values are there. What are these one? So accepted norms. In our society, there are many religions, there are many countries, many laws are there. Each and every country will have their own laws. Okay, each religion, each caste, each society, immediate society will have many laws and norms will have. So in the day-to-day life, we have to come across many limitations, many restrictions, many laws, many rules. So okay, what is the consciousness, what is this conscience that just leads us to the accepted, leads us to differentiate between accepted and these counter values. For example, see, the accepted norms like love for our parents and everything, these are the accepted norms, we have to accept that one. So that is called the accepted norms. We are following some religion, the good things which we adopt, that one which we adopt from that religion is called as a accepted norm, whereas the bad behaviors or the bad intolerable things which comes under these counter values like a murder and rape, these are intolerable things. Okay, some bribe, okay, backdoor entry to the jobs, adulteration of the food and medicines, these are all the counter values, we should not accept them. Okay, there are these ones we cannot accept. Then thus any value that does not promote human growth or human dignity is a counter value or a negative value. Then popularly these accepted norms of the whatever the positivity, whatever the positive attitudes which governs the human growth and dignity, which leads us towards the dignified life is called as a acceptable norm, whereas which just deteriorate our lives is called as a negative values or the counter values. Then the ethical reflection, as I said, just said you, it's a powerful tool which just governs us, which just governs us towards the recognizing good from the bad or a bad and good. You can differentiate using this ethical reflection only. So our behavior, our task, our performance, everything should be in such a way that we have to watch our thoughts, okay, so that they can become our words. Okay, then we have to choose our words so that they can become our actions. Then these actions only will become our habits. Then these habits should become our character, true character. Then this character should become our will become our destiny. So our attitude, our character, our behavior, okay, our goal, our destiny, everything needs to be in such a way that we should start our thoughts. Okay, first you are not thinking means you are not a human being. First you have to think. Okay, then only you will put up into your words, then only you can able to communicate through your words only. So you should watch your thoughts, what you are thinking. Entirely your words are dependent on your thinking. Okay, so you should watch first your words, yeah, your thinking first. Then the dimensions of human development. Okay, just we cover this one, dimensions of human development. First one is the physical development. It refers to your height, weight, public hair, facial hair, and everything. This refers to this physical development. Then when you are just up to the age, okay, come to the age, we will call this for the girls 12 to 19, and for the boys 13 to 21, we will call this as a come to the age, come of the age. Okay, this age is very crucial, everybody has to just pass from this stage only. So during this stage there are many physical changes, like height immediately we will grow. It's like a body weight will grow, hair will grow. Okay, then our tonal quality will just change, our suddenly everything will be changed. We will feel some of the some independence, some self assurance. Okay, when you are in teenage, you'll see whatever the problem coming to my way, I can face anything. Okay, you'll say like that. Okay, the sense of attitude, the sense of independence will be developed in you. Then you will also increase. There are many negative aspects at these stages also. Like we will just grow much interest towards our opposite sex. Why? Because there are many hormonal changes are going to occur in the physical development stage. So this negative aspect we need not to consider. Okay, we need not to pay attention to that one. Always we should consider the positivity in this stage also. Then for the women's, there are many physical changes will also happen. Then the intellectual development. So what is this intellectual development? Okay, it's your conscience. Okay, not a pseudo conscience, it's your conscience. Okay, it's your development of your own conscience is called this intellectual development. So intelligence is the capacity to reason well, to judge well, and to be self-critical. Okay, first you need to observe, first you need to understand, then you can able to judge. Then the man's intelligence is seen more in the he asks than the answers he gives. Okay, you should not be correct in every aspect. Okay, you should be asking a correct question. Okay, what type of question you will ask, that defines you whether you are intellectually grown person or not. Then to discern the truth is everything by whomsoever spoken is wisdom. Okay, when you acquire a true intellect, when you are truly intellectually developed, you will obviously acquire a wisdom. Then the real intellectual growth is assured when he or she has growing interest in what he has learned, what has to be learned. Okay, in every aspect you are learning many things day to day life. Okay, how you will accept that one? So when you are growing that interest, whatever you are learning, then you are intellectually in a growing stage. Okay, then has careful attention to small details. Okay, whatever the value is coming to you, your way, you have to just carefully pay the attention whether it's correct or not. That defines you whether you are intellectually grown or not. Then you should have a habit of picking up important and essential facts. Okay, what is important to you, what is right now essential to you, everything you just pick up based on your intellectual development only. Then has a good sense to see what is wrong. Okay, what is wrong, what is right, and everything you should have sense. Okay, sense of attitude to develop. Then has a openness to correct his or her errors. So you should have some openness to correct. First you have to accept your errors. Okay, yes, I did this error, but I will also correct that error. You should accept that one. Then you should develop purposefulness. Okay, when you are intellectually enlightened, then you should develop your true purposefulness. You should find your purpose of being here. Then acts towards the achievement of a good purpose in life. Okay, you should act towards your purpose, what you need to act. Okay, what you need to perform to achieve your purpose. Everything you will be seeing your intellectual development state. Then has a honestly, unselfishness, humility, impartiality, fellow feeling, and a sense of justice. Everything will be incorporated into you when you are intellectually developed. Then avoids conceit, insolence, and arrogance. Okay, your attitude will be suddenly changing. You are considered intellectually developed state. When you see many people who are societally very recognized person, they will not have any concitement or a arrogance in them. Okay, so how they will acquire that one? Because apart from their financial well-being, they would have acquired the intellectual well-being also. Because of that only, there are many people who are living in and around us who are not at all arrogant. Okay, your attitude should be like that. The emotional development. Okay, there are many types of emotions are there. So out of these, some of them I have just list out for you. So admiration, whenever some of your friend just cracked a good and a difficult examination, what you will do, you will just admire him, you will just clap at him, you will just say you will just say congratulations, you just congratulate him. That's a feeling called as admiration. Then anger, somebody scold at you without any fault, then you will get some anger, but you need not to show your anger on your face or in your action. You should know how to control that anger. So that's the emotional development stage. You should know that one. So when you are emotionally enlightened, you will know how to control your anger. Then a friendly gesture. Okay, whenever somebody is showing interest in somebody uh, without their interest, once again you will do the same thing. You will have a friendly gesture towards them. So that's called a friendly gesture. Then a fear. If you are going to pass the examination, if you are going to pass the score a good marks in the semester examination, that may be a fear. That's called a fear. One type of emotion, that one. Love for the parents, love of the parents, everything is a true love. And the jealous, when somebody is achieving something, so fellow being will just feel a different feeling, that's called a jealous. Then the concern, whenever some doctor is looking to the patient report, when he is a true doctor, he will be concerned towards his patients. That's a feeling called as a concern. Then eager, when some teacher is asking some question, if you know the answer, if you are eager to answer that question, that's called a feeling as a eager. When somebody is coming from the library with a huge pile of books, you need to help them, that's a feeling. You will have a excitement, you will have a some feeling, that's called a helpfulness. Elated, when somebody is achieved a more thing, you will be elated at that one, you will feel over excited towards that one. That's all a feeling, eager feeling. Then happiness, Okay, whenever you are seeing some sunshine, something, whenever you are seeing some crop, you will have something, a wonderful feeling, that's called a happiness. Okay, whenever you are going through a difficult situation, okay, like online classes and something, you'll feel frustrated. Then the frustrated feeling, that feeling is called a frustration. Then anxiety or anxiousness. Okay, you are going to have that result, you are going to pass that exam or not, that's called anxiety. Then irritation, you don't want to listen any of the words from anybody, that's called irritation. All these feelings, okay, how well you are grown up, how well you are emotionally correlating with these feelings, that determines your emotional development. Then the moral development, okay, your morals will just differentiate good from the bad. What are your morals? That defines your purpose, your place in the society. When you are not morally strong, okay, you are not a good person, society will obviously reject you. When you are a good person, when you are morally a good attitudinal person, society will accept you. Okay, there are three levels for this one. So first one is pre-conventional, conventional, and post-conventional stages. Okay, these are three stages, you can refer to that one. And spiritual, okay, spiritually more concerned about your goodness, emotion, what your conscious well-being. Okay, your behavior well-being, everything will comes under the spiritual enlightenment. For the spiritual enlightenment, there are many religions, there are many uh, rituals which are performed in the religion. You should accept any one of them. Then the social development. Okay, social development is nothing but how well we correlate with each other, how well we are accepting the societal norms, how well we are just um, accepting the rules which are set by our society. Everything will comes under this social development. So to have a good bonding with each other, we should have an opportunity first, and we should just get a positive feedback, or we should just give a positive recognition. Then we need a skill to just do a friendship with other fellow being. Then only a strong bond will be formed. That bonding, after the bonding, we will try to discuss, okay, what are your hobbies. Okay, for example, we can say in the friends, you are in the first year, you will try to just know about each other. So without any bonding, we cannot know each other. With a good bonding only, you can know each other. So that's called a belief and norms. Then you are just matching that beliefs and norms, then you will have a common behavior. Okay, you will be called as a true friendship, that's called a true friendship. Okay, this is all about the social development, all the dimensions of human development, and it's a summary of the unit one. If you have any doubts, just ask me anytime. Okay, if you don't have any doubt, just my recommendation is just read the PPT. I will share this PPT by tomorrow, and by day after tomorrow, I will just scan that book up to 3 units, or at least first unit. I will just scan and send to you, okay, through WhatsApp, and as well as the MS Teams. Okay, in the MS Teams you have an account. Okay, I have seen you how to go to your Teams. First, if you see, okay, in this plane you have a activity chart, Teams, assignment, calendar, calls, files. Okay, like this you will also have in your MS Teams app. Then in the Teams you have to go. Okay, you are in chemical, okay, this electronics and ET, you will have this ET 2020 batch. Okay, most probably you will have this one. Okay, for me these are externally, whatever the different classes, other classes I am doing, for this I will be added into this team. For you, this will be your team. Okay, go to in this one. Okay, you will find some channel here, the value education. This is my name, Dr. Zakir Hussain. So in this one, just click that one. Then you will find the files here, the files tab here. Okay, if you want syllabus, you can just go into this folder and just view this folder. And if you want the previous videos, okay, we have taken around 4 classes, and including this one 5 classes. Okay, when you just open this document, Word document, there is a video link. Okay, this video link, just copy and paste in your browser. Okay, you can find the channel, which is a value education channel of mine. Just go and watch the previous videos when you have any doubts. Okay, if you want to clarify any doubt, just contact me anytime. Otherwise, if you want to watch any video, just go to this link and paste in your browser. You can go to you can have access to my channel, Value Education channel, so that you can watch the previous videos. Okay, this is all about the previous videos. And then if you want any files, okay, I will upload here unit 1 PPT and the unit 1 this textbook scan copy, everything here with a unit 1 folder. So if you want anything, this channel Value Education, come to this channel and access to here. If you want through WhatsApp, I can also send through WhatsApp. Okay, whatever it may be, your choice, depending on your choice, I will send. Okay, that's all for the day. Thank you for listening.